Good morning and happy Monday. It is September 9th. It is our first full week of school. And if you're new here, my name is Fletcher Nelson. I am a third grade teacher in Minnesota, and I'm taking it along talking about things going on in my third grade classroom this year. It is the morning. Again, this is our second week of school. It will be our first full week, but this week, some things I already know that I have going on. I'm gone for an afternoon and need a sub due to volleyball, and I'm gone for a full day due to volleyball. So this will be our first week having a day and a half of subs. I generally am not gone a ton. Like, obviously if I need to be, I am, but so this will be different. I don't think I've ever had a sub this early in the year. So, but that's part of coaching right now. We switch conferences and the schools our size, we don't have any in like our area, so we switched to a conference with more schools our size, but that means that we are driving further for our away games, so that's what's going on this week. And then we have a tournament, so that's the other part. But anyways, other than that, this week I want to get our Chromebook set up because we need to do our STAR testing. Our district does the STAR testing probably 4 or 5 times throughout the year. So we do the first window opens today, and I would rather do it as early as possible. That way I can kind of see where kids are at right after summer. So I want to do that this week, and honestly just kind of to get over with. It's not my favorite thing to do, so I want to just get our Chromebook set up so we can do that. And September 11th is on Wednesday, so I'm hoping to finish our I Survived book that we started. We're doing the attacks of September 11th because that will lead to good discussion, and so kids kind of have an idea of what happened on that day. I know every year they hear parents talking about it, they see it in the newspaper, everything, so I feel like that's a good way to introduce it to them. And I also have a art project that we will do and display in the hallway for September 11th as well. And otherwise, that's kind of what I have at the top of my head. We'll keep going with our math curriculum. Our first 4 sessions are just on like getting them back into math mode, and then also like addition facts up to 20. The next several are subtraction facts up to 20. There's a couple workplace games that they will be introduced to, and so that just kind of eases them back in. So we will continue with those lessons this week. I also want to get going on their interactive reading notebooks and science notebooks to introduce the scientific method before we start our first official science unit. So this is before school on Monday. What I'm saying, I hope we accomplish this week. So let's see what we get done. I will check in with you after school today to see what we do. So I'm going to go drink my coffee, and I'll see you then. Good morning. It's Tuesday now. I clearly did not come on after school yesterday to talk about the day. It was a day. I can't find my outlet remote, so we're going to walk around and turn on some lamps. But it wasn't anything controllable that made it a day. It was just a change in how students log into their Chromebooks. So I wanted to do that yesterday so we could do our STAR testing. I think I mentioned that. And how it works is the students type in their school email address one time, enter their password, and then their profile saves to the Chromebook. So the rest of the year, all they have to do is click on their name and then type in their password, which they get really good at because it involves, part of it's their lunch number, which they obviously use at lunch. And it's super quick. We always just bookmark the websites that we use. It'll ask them to save their logins, and it's always just gotten really smooth. So I do that yesterday and find out that we got like Clever, which seems like it'd be really good. If you don't know what Clever is, it's a program or a software, I guess, where it like you would like it automatically would log kids into all their stuff. Like it keeps it would keep track of their passwords. And we had been told about that, but we were also said like, oh, you don't have to use the badge to log in, because in our heads we're like, what it would give them is like a QR code they would hold up to their Chromebook webcam, and that's what signs in for them. And we didn't really want that because one, kids will lose it, or they have to have it with them when they log in. It just didn't, I don't know. So anyways, went through our regular way. Once they close their Chromebook, we go on to log on again the next time, and none of it saved. So with the updated software, it won't work the way we used to do it. So we're like, okay, whatever. We will print out the badges and just use those. So I do that, but now any site that's not loaded in with their password, like you used to always just pop up and say, like, save login. Like I use MobiMax for MathFacts, and it won't save that login for them. So they'll have to type it in every time, which again, it's not a huge deal, but it's just nice. I mean, think of how many accounts you have where your password's just saved for you. It's nice when you don't have to think about it every single time. So we're hoping we can get it switched back to the old way, because right now it's not super great for us. But that was just kind of a headache and just an added stressor, and not a big deal, but something that was just didn't go as planned, so it took longer and was just kind of frustrating. So by the end of the day, I was just kind of over it. So literally in the morning, all we did was we did our reading stamina, which they crushed. They did really well. They got up to 11 minutes. They were doing so well. And then we tried to get into our Chromebooks, and that took the rest of the morning. In the afternoon, we did our math lesson, which was looking at the addition table for different patterns, which I really liked, actually. Last year, I think I maybe kind of briefly did this, but there was some good discussion in what they were noticing in patterns. So let me just show you one of their books. I also got this pretty organized. So again, our math series is bridges, and it just went through this legends. We talked about like the zero facts and the pattern that we saw in those, count on facts, and then double facts. From there, when we talked about doubles plus or minus one, that was a really good conversation, because a lot of them were kind of like, what does that even mean? And last year I just didn't even think about needing to talk about it. So that was kind of a good conversation. Like for 7 plus 6, we talked about how, like, oh, if we know 6 plus 6 is 12, 7 plus 6 would be one more, so it's 13. So just for patterns they can look at in the addition table to help make their addition facts easier to remember. So we still need to go through these last 4, but this is what we did yesterday. We also talked about how visualizing a number rack, or I think these are technically called like reckon racks, but in our book it just calls them a number rack, how visualizing this can help you with your facts. Because again, let's look at like 7 plus 6. Some kids might look at it as, oh, 5, 10, 12, 13. So if they can use this visual and kind of use 5s when they're thinking of their math facts, that can help them a lot. So visualizing with this, I really do like this. I also like this from like this type of visual for math facts. I used to always be a big fan of 10s, but 5s are so powerful. If they can visualize 5s, it's great. Again, because then they can visualize. A lot of them can go then like, oh, 5, 10, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 in their head. So we also introduced the number rack a little bit, and we'll use that more. I did have them log on to MobiMax for the first time. I only use the fact fluency piece on there. I like it on there because they have to type it in. It's not like multiple choice. I know there's other websites people like and use like extra math, but this is just the one I've always used, so I just keep doing it because I'm familiar with it. So I do think that like fact fluency is important. Obviously, we want kids to have a conceptual understanding, but they also need to practice knowing those facts quick, because it's just going to help them as they get older. I mean, I've taught 4th, 5th, 6th grade, so if they can have those facts down pretty quickly, it helps them with the rest. It's kind of like the building blocks, I think. So I'm okay like them using their fingers, whatever they need to do, but I just want them to be able to think about them pretty quick. So it gives them a placement test, and from there it'll automatically assign them facts, and it increases it each time if they're getting them right. So they work their way through addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and then it'll do a mixed review once they've passed everything. So I do have them, even if they pass division, I just have them keep going on every day for the 5-10 minutes, because I want them to, keep practicing those facts and keep building that fluency. And we did our first day of the daily math review that I showed. So I can't even remember now, but so they did that, and then when they finished, they hopped on MobiMax. So that was kind of like a good little thing for them to do in between, and then we did our whole group math. From there, honestly, then that kind of put us to our snack and specials time. So I've read some I Survived. That was our day. It was not nearly as much as I wanted to do. We did not do any of the grammar or the writing that I wanted to do, but that's just part of life. So today, like I mentioned, I'm gone in the afternoon. This morning, I'm going to have them do their STAR reading test, and I honestly think I'm going to have them do their STAR math test in the sub. The sub is one that's been here before. I know she's been in a room for STAR testing before. my class will have already logged on this morning, so they'll know how to get on, and I think that'll be just kind of get it done in one day for the beginning of the year. So I might just have her do that this afternoon, and then I can pick up tomorrow on her lessons, because I'd rather be here for like the core instructions. So I think that's what I'm gonna do, but who knows? I guess we'll find out when I check in tomorrow, because obviously I will not be here after school, because I will be on a bus driving with 50 high schoolers to a volleyball game. So anyways, thanks for sticking through my little rant on that Chromebook login, and I hope when you're watching this you have a great day. Okay? Alright, I'll see you Wednesday. Bye. Good morning and happy Wednesday. I am definitely tired today. Stopped, got a coffee, and we're back at it. We got back probably a little after 11:30ish, so not like super late. Like, I'm glad it wasn't after midnight. But I usually go to bed at like 9:30 or 10, so for me it felt late. So I'm a little sleepy this morning, but oh well, I'll wake up. It was our first afternoon with a sub, so didn't really know what to walk into after this, just because I don't know, we talked about expectations, and I just wanted to make sure things went well, and said it was a great afternoon. A couple little things written down, but overall they did a great job. So that's good to hear, because we have a sub all day on Friday, so I want to make sure that they are being respectful for subs, listening to them, doing what they're supposed to do, and behaving better for them than they do for me. I want subs to want to come back, so I'm glad that it went well yesterday afternoon with our first sub. It also just makes it nice when I can start the day today with like telling them about all the great things they did for the sub and like how proud I am of them, instead of having to like sit back down and talk about how we behave for a sub. So that's helpful. I did have the sub do our STAR math test, because I know she's been around for some of the testing before. So this is the stuff I left for the afternoon, and I like to just put up kind of like this as a reminder for the kids, and I set a goal, like I wanted them to get 10 out of 12 points. So just each time, like, hey, are you following directions, doing what you're supposed to? So for the STAR math, I already saw, and it was a 1, because there was, I think there's 2 kids that had to get moved just when they were done for, talking while others were still working. So again, just like, I don't know, seems to work decently well for the class, just to remind them of what the expectations are for a sub, and that they're working together as a class to earn a goal. And these were the goals we made during morning meeting this week. I don't know if those or not. So we already hit our 10-minute stamina goal, so that one's awesome. Less blurting's been going pretty well. The transitions during quiet during work time has been much better, and the quick and quiet transitions we're still working on. Laker Leader Awards, those are like our school awards, so we'll see how that goes. It is September 11th today, so we will finish our read aloud. They had to have gotten close yesterday, like we're close. Oh yeah, they have like a couple pages left. She left a note saying like, sorry, we didn't finish it. We got too busy talking, and which is totally fine. I just had put on the plans like it's close to the end, so you might finish. So if you do, that's not a big deal. So we'll finish up that chapter book today, and then talk about questions they have. And then I have that September 11th artwork that we'll do to get up in the hallway. From there, I just want to see what we have left for time, because I obviously have a lot of stuff that I wanted to get done this week, but with that Chromebook logon issue and then STAR testing, it just haven't got through as much as I wanted. So hopefully I can work in a little bit of our grammar with capitalization. Hopefully I can get in some word study review and get our interactive reading notebooks started as well. But I am going to do our project this morning. That way we have time to get it done, and throughout the day, if they finish something else early, they can work on it. So hopefully I'm able to show you those tomorrow morning or today after school. But yeah, I'm going to drink my coffee and get ready today. So see you then. Good morning and happy Thursday. It is my Friday for the week. Gone tomorrow for volleyball. So yeah, this is my Friday. So this will also be the end of the vlog. This will be the last days. But going back for Wednesday, because I didn't hop on at the end of the day. Yeah, it was an interesting day. So we did finish our I Survived the Attacks of September 11th book, and that led to a really good discussion, just questions. We read the facts in the back by the author, and from there we watched the CNN 10 episode because they had a special for the anniversary of 9/11. And then we did this art project, which took a little longer than I thought, but they like take their time coloring. I really, really appreciate it. They look really good. So I forget what these are called. There's a term, but when you hang them up, like depending on what direction you see a different image. So from this side, it's like soldiers saluting, and then the hallway, when you walk by, it'll change the other way. You would see a flag. The only thing is I accidentally printed the wrong template. Like there should be a flag going all the way across, and the right half is just red bars. So that was my bad. I don't know what I did, but they still look cool. So I will get these hung up in the hallway today. So between the reading and the art project, that was our morning. We got outside and we stayed outside for a little bit longer, and I'm glad we did because when we got back in, there's an announcement saying that the air quality was too low due to the smoke coming to our area from the Canadian wildfires. So we had to stay in for recess. So for indoor recess, they actually did it really well. It was our first time having it this year. So they handled that very well. When I came back in, because I still went out for lunch, I had a movie on, and we talked about how you can play games, you can draw, you can color, you can do those things, but indoors it has to be like much calmer. Obviously, you're not getting as much energy out as you do when you're outside. People who are watching the movie need to be able to hear the movie, so this is just kind of what we came up with. So those were just the expectations that they came up with, having a voice level 1, no running around, finding an area and activity to stay to. Not obviously you don't have to be there the whole time, but we were just talking about how we don't want people up and moving nonstop and use items correctly. And then these were their options. They could watch the movie, they could draw or color, they could play card games or board games, STEM materials, relax, or read or write. And we just talked about how if you are watching the movie, you are up here. You can bring up a chair, but you're up in this area. And if you want to do a board or a card game, you're in the back. That way when you're talking, you're not making it hard for the movie people to hear the movie. We did also do our reading stamina. We dipped a little bit to 8 minutes and 47 seconds, but they're still, overall doing pretty well on their reading stamina. In the afternoon, we spent time constructing, folding their project, and we had a birthday, so we had birthday cupcakes, and yeah, so indoor recess kind of threw some things off, and then the project taking longer than I thought, but I think it'll look good up in the hallway, and that could also be good for Veterans Day, so maybe we'll have them up for September 11th for a little bit, hold on to them, put them back up for Veterans Day, and then I can send them home. So that was our Wednesday. Again, not getting through quite what I had planned, but I feel like that's life, especially the beginning of the year. I always just forget how long things can take, so it is what it is. So we're getting stuff done. This week's been a little weird with, STAR testing and September 11th and indoor recess, and I'm just hoping we can get outside today. The air quality does seem better today, so fingers crossed they can go outside. But I will either check in today after school, or if I forget, I'll check in from my house and talk to you about how things went today, because I won't be here tomorrow. So anyways, this is what I have for my sub tomorrow. Alright, so I've made several of these. They are like a sub plan packet, and then there are slides that I leave that walk the sub and the kids through everything. So the first thing will be like a word search. So this one is based off of a book, The Best Pet. So there are just some different, a word search. Then there will be a read aloud, and I know I've talked about this somewhere, might have been the planning video, but I'll leave a hard copy, and I also leave a link, so if they just want to watch it on YouTube or listen to it instead of reading it, that's the sub. But afterwards, students will complete a story map for it, and then they will also just answer some comprehension questions about the book. From there, they'll do some reading on their own, and there's some comprehension questions about that. And they have a writing prompt. This one, they are going to write a story from a pet's point of view. So they are going to pretend they are the pet and write a story. So leave them some blank pages for that. And then in the afternoon tomorrow, we have a school assembly and stuff. So I know they might not get to any of this, honestly. There's some math. And in my planning video, I was saying how I was going to take out the math fact practice and switch it with addition, because I made this last year, later in the year. But they're not even going to get to it, so I'm just going to leave it in there. And if they have extra time, I'm just going to say, hey, choose any of this to do, but their afternoon is going to go by very quick because we'll have an adjusted special schedule, and then they'll also have that school rally. I will link that packet below, but yeah, that's going to be it for yesterday, and then that's what we're doing for tomorrow. So today I will let you know how things go. I'm hoping to get through stuff that we had planned, like start some grammar. Yeah, I'm not even going to say what I'm hoping to get done, because that way I can just tell you at the end, because who knows what I'll get to. So hopefully it's a good day. Talk to you later. Bye. All right, it is the evening. I'm back after practice just to make sure I have everything ready for my sub, so a little check-in on the day. This morning we finally got to our grammar lesson on capitalization. We did a read aloud where they completed a story map, because they will be doing that with the sub tomorrow. We were able to go outside. The air quality was better, so that was great. I introduced them to IXL today. Third grade's the first year that they have IXL, so we have it for math only. So I got them logged in for, sorry, my phone's going off, my alarm. Logged them in for the first time on IXL. We had library, and that was kind of it. We had a fire drill, so we had some things going on today, but it was a good day. We did more today, and that felt good. I'm just trying to give a quick update before I peace out of here. I feel like the only thing next week that's going to throw off our schedule is bus safety, but otherwise I'm hoping it can be a little bit more into our actual routine, because this week with STAR testing and stuff, it just was a little all over the place, but that's how it goes sometimes. So, gone tomorrow, hoping to come back Monday with a good report from the sub, and that's what I got for you this week. So I will see you next time. Goodbye.